following is a Cable 3 sports exclusive.
UA Columbia Cable 3 Sports presents another edition of the high school football game of the week. And today, another Class A affair, and it's a League 3 meeting as the Tigers of Mamaroneck take on the Raiders of Scarsdale. And today's game on Cable 3 Sports is being brought to you by Crabtree Hyundai in New Rochelle, New York. And by UA Columbia Cablevision of Westchester. And welcome to Willard B. Dean Field on the campus of Scarsdale High School in Scarsdale, New York. A day that is just absolutely perfect for high school football. The weather is exactly what we'd hoped for. It's 70 degrees. There's just a 30% humidity. Winds are from the northwest. The skies are clear. The forecast is sunny. And the field is dry. Well, hi, everybody. I'm John Caridio, along with Ray Karowski, as we welcome you to Dean Field for our latest edition of the high school football game of the week. We've got a battle of the big boys. They're both playing in that black and blue league, the Big Ten, league number 3. Mamaroneck a year ago, 2-7 on the season, 0-1 already this year, and 0-1 in the conference after losing to Mayapack a week ago. The Raiders of Scarsdale opened up on a high note, beating R.C. Ketchum last week, 14-6, a non-conference game, so they'll go in at 1-0. But, Ray, when we take a look at this game on paper, it got very even through the course of the summer and the preseason workouts to come to the second week of the year.
That's right, John. Scarsdale was a great football team during the summer, but what happened, Stone went down. He was the starting quarterback with a knee operation, and I know he's suited for today's game, but I don't know if he's going to play. Pickett, last year's most valuable lineman in Section 1, also went down with a knee operation, and Holloway has moved to Minnesota. So you have 3 key proven stars on that Scarsdale team that are not playing today. So you have Dorenzo, the fullback, coming in, making the transition of playing at quarterback. So the teams are even. It's evenly matched, and I expect a very close ball game.
And, of course, on the other side, we'll have for you, for the Mamaroneck Tigers, you've got Bo Keene coming back once again as quarterback, and in the backfield with him, another experienced runner, Andy Wilson. So, indeed, it looks a little more even on paper. But as we begin the pregame show, we'll start, first of all, with a quick review of last year's action. Of course, both of these teams made a few appearances here on Cable 3, and we've got some highlights as Scarsdale made it to the Bowls, and Mamaroneck looking to turn the year around. 1986 was not a good year for Mamaroneck. Jerry Hardy's Tigers finished the season at 2-7, but many of those losses were close ball games coming late in the fourth quarter. One of those not-so-close defeats came on Cable 3 1 year ago against Scarsdale. The Raiders racked up 35 points, with Larry Holloway scoring 4 touchdowns. Though the Tigers did lead that game 3-0, the offensive line could not contain the Scarsdale defense and therefore could never get on track. Last week at Mayapack, Mamaroneck lost another heartbreaker, 26-22, when the Indians scored with less than a minute to play. The Tigers are looking for a repeat of the 1985 season when they were 7-3 and played in the Coach's Bowl. Scarsdale had a good campaign in 1986, but again came one win away from a championship. Last year's 30-27 overtime loss to North Rockland in the A-Bowl championship game left a bitter taste for Dick Palladino and the Raiders. But during the regular season, Scarsdale showed their fans they could win big and also take those close ones by making the big plays down the stretch. Last week, Scarsdale beat R.C. Ketchum in an interleague contest 14-6, but questions still remain. Can the Raiders replace the likes of Holloway, Pickett, and Stone while remaining competitive week after week in their conference? For both of these teams going into the second week of the season, the answers, whether good or bad, are coming in a hurry. Incidentally, for Scarsdale, this will be their 9th appearance on Cable 3. They've won 3 and lost 5. For the Mamaroneck Tigers, they're making their 6th appearance on television. They've won 1 and they've lost 4. As we mentioned earlier, both of these teams play in what we have termed the Black and Blue League. It's the Big Ten, or League number 3. Let's show you how the teams stack up in that conference race as we move to week number 2 of this young 1987 season. The Scarsdale Raiders, without a conference game so far. As a matter of fact, you can see a bunch of teams getting ready for their first games of the year. Ossining, or rather Fox Lane, White Plains, Carmel, and Horace Greeley. Mayapack with a win over Mamaroneck, tied with Lakeland, who beat Yorktown last weekend. They're at 1-0 in conference play. And, of course, Mamaroneck and Yorktown at the bottom of the heap at 0-1. But the season's still early, and, Coach, as we talked about it last year quite a bit, it's a big league, some big teams. It's regionally diverse. It's really a good league.
It's a Black and Blue League. There's no doubt about it. It could be just like the Pac-10 or the Big Ten in college football. You have 10 teams. Each team can play 9 games by playing a team in the league. Now, you have a true league champion, and the best team will definitely go to a bowl game, and any team under that has a good record can also go to a bowl game.
All right, let's get now to the meat of our pregame show. We're just moments away from the opening kickoff and find out about the head mentors of both of these schools. A few minutes ago, we had a chance to talk with both of the head coaches and had a chance to find out how the teams are prepared this week, getting ready for today's game. Coach, last week's loss in the last minute to Mayapack, has that toughened up this year's ball club as you struggle in this big league down the rest of the season?
Well, if anything positive can come out of it, we didn't do a great job running the ball. We made a lot of changes this week, stopping the running game, excuse me. So we did some things this week where we got to do things against Mayapack to stop their inside running game. And as far as losing it in the last minute like that, the kids know now that it's a 48-minute game, and they got to play till the final whistle goes. And as far as that goes, then yeah, we did learn something from it.
Coach, with the losses that you suffered during the preseason, and of course Larry Holloway moving to the bread of this great land of ours, have you been able to find replacements for those players, and is this team ready to play today?
Well, let me answer the last question first. We definitely are ready to play today. And the first question, you don't replace kids like Holloway and Pickett. Somebody will line up there and play their hearts out and do a fine job. But those are 2 of the finest players in the county, proven to be from the last 2 years. So it's very difficult to replace those kids. But yes, we're ready to play, and we've got kids who are really doing a fine job in their absence.
Well, that's how the experts, or so-called experts anyway, the guys along the sidelines, read this ball game. But let's find out how our expert sees this ball game coming up on paper in any event as we pull out Kurowski's keys and take a look at what each team will have to do to come up victorious in today's ball game. And you've got a couple for each of the schools.
That's right, John. Mamaroneck, first of all, they're going to have to run right at Scarsdale. No fancy stuff going around the end. They have to go with their solid stuff right at them. They have to be consistent with their passing game. They have to make that completion when it's needed. And lastly, they have to say to themselves that the fourth quarter is ours. Last week they lost in the fourth quarter. It has to be theirs this week. For Scarsdale, they have to control the running game. They just can't go 1-2-3 punt. They have to run that ball and be consistent. And another big key, which I think is very important, Scarsdale's going to have to contain Keene at quarterback and Wilson. Keene at quarterback can scramble. He can roll out. He can make a lot of things happen. And Wilson, on a good day, can rush for 100 yards.
Well, the field is perfectly dry. It's in great condition. And we think we've got for you a great ball game on the latest edition of the Cable 3 High School Football Game of the Week. Coming up in just a moment when we continue from Dean Field here on the campus of Scarsdale High School. Straight ahead, it's a conference test. Scarsdale meets Mamaroneck in just a moment.
Push, pull, or shove your car to Crabtree Hyundai, and we'll give you up to $1,000 towards the Hyundai of your choice. Hyundai, the car that makes sense, now makes more sense. You heard right, $1,000 for any car you can push, pull, or shove to Crabtree Hyundai. Don't get shut out. Payments starting as low as $95 a month. Unbelievable. From now till the end of the month. Call us, then come in and make a deal. Do it today. Crabtree Hyundai, 162 Main Street, New Rochelle. Call 636-8585.
A special message to all UA Columbia cable subscribers. In our continuing efforts to upgrade and track the quality of our cable system, and by the order of the New York State Cable Commission, we need to gain access to your home in order to inspect the grounding of the cable wires. So please, when a member of the UA Columbia technical staff visits your home with the proper identification, allow him to inspect our wires. It is for your protection. If you need any information, call 636-4229.
Welcome back to Dean Field. John Carrillo along with Ray Karowski for the Cable 3 High School Football Game of the Week. Coin toss just completed. Scarsdale won the coin toss and has elected to receive. So they'll get the football to open up this ball game. And we also have out on the field, as always, our regular crew of officials sporting the shorts today. And our referee will be Ray McPartland. The head linesman is Harry Barber. The field judge, John Bellatoni. And the umpire is Anthony Gagliardi. Those will be the gentlemen calling today's game. Scarsdale will be wearing the black and white and will be running from your left to right, while Mamaroneck in the white and black will be going from right to left. Dick Palladino, head coach of the Scarsdale Raiders, working his 4th season. He has a career record here at Scarsdale of 18 wins and 10 losses. And Jerry Hardy on the other side of the field. He will open it up again in his 4th year as the head mentor for the Mamaroneck Tigers, and he has a career record of 11 wins and 18 losses. So we expect a pretty good ball game. As we mentioned in our pregame show, it's evened up considerably, especially with the loss of Larry Holloway, who moved to Minnesota. Understand from Coach Palladino he's not playing football this year out in Minnesota. And, of course, losing Section 1 quarterback Chris Cochran from a year ago. His number retired for 1 season in honor of his all-section performance. Around locally, isn't he, Mr. Cochran?
Well, Cochran is up at Cornell, and I just heard this morning that they had a game up there, and they did win. We have Papalardo from East Chester up there at Cornell, and John McNiff from New Rochelle. So you have a contingent of Westchester football players playing in the Ivy League.
All right, it's Marcel Galligani to kick it away, and this ball game is underway. It's a short kick. Will come down to Jim Kelly, number 13. Brings it up the middle of the field and is stood straight up as he gets it to the 27-yard line. That's where his forward progress is. And Mamaroneck will have it, or Scarsdale rather, will have it there 1st and 10. Let's take a look at the offensive set for the Scarsdale Raiders. That quarterback will be number 35, John DiRienzo. He is the senior. The split end, number 12, Brian Kelly. He is the senior. The tight end will be Brian Garb, and he is a senior as well. And also in the backfield, we'll have number 40, Andy Kessler, or Jason Kessler. He is just a junior. And the tailback is Abdul Steiner, number 28, and he is a senior. 1st and 10 now from the 27-yard line. DiRienzo on the first play, right up the middle, and Abdul Steiner, a 5'9" senior, number 28, rumbles ahead, close to a 1st down. He'll be a yard shy at pickup of 9. On the offensive line for the Scarsdale Raiders, Dave Bosian anchors it at the center spot. He is a senior, 6'1", 232. We've got Matt Karp and Dan Savelson at the 2 guards, and Mike Fee and Malcolm Falls will be the 2 tackles. That offensive line going 6 feet, 193 pounds as the average. 2nd and less than a 1 now for the Raiders. Ball at their own 36, and again up the middle, and there's a big hit. Jason Kessler, the fullback, got the call, and he was banged at the line of scrimmage, but was able to get ahead for a yard, and does pick up the 1st down. So the first down of the day is the Raiders keep the drive alive. Defensively for the Mamaroneck Tigers, they've got the 5-man front. We've got Jim Joyce, J.P. Tomasetti, Pat Curley, Bob Francis, and Tim Dillon. And that defensive line averaging 5'11", 186 pounds. As we go next to the next page on the deep backs for the Mamaroneck Tigers, we'll get to them in just a moment. There you see them. Colasaco, Berkowitz, Morricade, Wilson, Galligani, and Ferry. 1st and 10, ball at the Scarsdale 38. Pitch comes to Abdul Steiner. Good move again. And he has got gotten himself across the 45 to the 46. And, Coach, the running game for Scarsdale looks pretty good. It looks like they picked up right where they left off.
That was one of the keys for Scarsdale. They had to control that running game, and what they're doing, they're hitting the middle. You can see the Mamaroneck linebackers, they're like 5 yards off the ball. So what happens if they can get a quick dive with the fullback or the tailback going right up that middle, they're hoping that they could get that 3 or 4 yards.
Pete Bogarty is the receiver split wide to the bottom of the screen. Knopp in motion. D'Arienzo to the fullback. Jason Kessler close to midfield, but he'll have another Scarsdale first down. They'll mark it on the Scarsdale 49-yard line, and that's a pickup of 4. And the second first down for the Raiders. Look very impressive on this opening drive.
You notice that Scarsdale's putting a man in motion. Now, the guy that's playing tight slot, he's going in motion, and he's used as an extra blocker out there so he can kick out on a defensive end coming in or hit the outside cornerbacker. Right now, they're using that motion man as a blocker.
First and 10 from the 49-yard line of Scarsdale. The Raiders taking the opening kickoff, marching down the field. Abdul Steiner again. To the Mamaroneck side of the field now. Ball resting at the 46. It'll be second down. Pick up of 4 yards. Second and 6 for the Raiders.
The offensive linemen for Scarsdale, they're doing a tremendous job there. They're just firing out, moving people back.
Brian Kelly now in the ball game, split to the near side. Pitch comes to Steiner. Blockers in front of him, but good pursuit there by the defense. And in particular, number 85, Bob Francis of Mamaroneck, the senior 6'2 defensive tackle who came up to stop Steiner. Gain of just 1 yard.
On that last play, Keith Berry, the strong safety for Mamaroneck, he came up real strong on that pitch, and he took out 2 blockers, which enabled the defense to come in and make the tackle there behind the line of scrimmage. Really came up very quickly, and you have to be careful of that, because if you start coming up quickly, and if Scarsdale has that option pass, they're going to have that flat wide open.
Third down and 6. D'Arienzo with his first pass of the day. Lost one down the sideline. Brian Kelly on the reception, and he stepped out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 32-yard pass completion. And a pretty little pass, Coach. He just floated that right down the sideline.
It was just lofted right over there. He had enough there under that ball just to get the timing, so receiver comes down and comes up with a beautiful catch. D'Arienzo kept his poise. He was just looking. He knew where the receiver was. They just lofted it with a soft touch about 8 yards in front of him to make it an exceptional reception.
First and 10 from the Mamaroneck 15. It's Steiner again. Up the middle. Good block. Breaks away from a tackle and goes in. Touchdown run for Abdul Steiner, 5'9" senior tailback, and he's given Scarsdale the 6-0 lead.
Comes right up the middle. He bounces off one would-be tackler, goes in for the score. Now, right up the middle, it could have been I'm not sure, but if we can see that again, it was what you call the bend trap or the buck trap from the old single wing play, where you have the guard pulling, trapping, and then the back is just running to off tackle, cuts, goes up the middle.
And the extra point is good.
Let's go, Marcus!
Mike Cochran drills it over the goalpost, and with 7:10 left to go in this first quarter, Scarsdale leads Mamaroneck by a score of 7-0.
Scarsdale did it all with the power of the running game.
That really was a nice drive.
The linemen were really blocking well. They're firing out, and I always contend that you know, when you're playing a game, the offensive line, defensive line, you try to tell, you know, your offense, you have to beat the defense off the ball. Vice versa, the defense has to beat the offensive line off the ball. There was a Donnybrook in there. They got some good holes, good running by Steiner, marching all the way down. Lorenzo threw that pass just when you needed it, and it just worked exactly the way he wanted it to. Good reception. They go in and score, and it's 7-0.
You know, we've talked a lot about the fact that Larry Holloway no longer on the Scarsdale Ball Club. You put a number 1 on that jersey out there that's got 28, and you may say Larry Holloway is back. You know, Coach Palladino mentioned in the pregame show, he said, you know, it's tough to replace kids of that caliber. He said, we'll have people in those positions. Whether they can play like that remains to be seen, and I'm sure he's got to be very pleased with the running of Abdul Steiner.
Well, Holloway was the 3rd string All-State offensive back last year, you know, for returning. Steiner's rising to the occasion. He's doing a great job. He's running the ball. You know, you can't think about, you know, people that you have lost through injury, moving, or whatever. You just have to go out and do the best job you possibly can.
So Mamaroneck will have it for the first time. This is Andy Wilson from his own 5. Able to turn the corner. He's going to get a good gain out of this one. Finally thrown out of bounds across the 40-yard line. So Andy Wilson, one of those returning vets for Jerry Hardy and his Tigers, gets the Tigers in pretty good shape. 1st and 10 from the 41. We'll take a look now at the offensive set of the Mamaroneck Tigers. As we mentioned, Bo Keene is the quarterback. He's a senior, standing 6 feet, 198 pounds. Andy Wilson will be in the backfield with him. He's a senior as well, 5'8". And the fullback will be John Manisof. He is a senior at 5'8" as well. The wide receiver will be Scott Spires, number 88, along with Ken Colabella on the other side, another senior, and the tight end, number 44, is Tim Dillon. 1st and 10. Bo Keene brings the club up from his own 41-yard line. Pretty good field position to start. And Keene will go right to work. Sideline route, and it's incomplete. Overthrew Ken Colabella on an out pattern towards the far sidelines, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. On the offensive line for the Mamaroneck Tigers, Greg Moricade anchors it at the center spot. You've got Jim Joyce and Pat Curley as the 2 guards, and the 2 tackles, J.P. Tomasetti and Ted Haley. And that offensive line averaging 5'11", 190 pounds. 2nd and 10. Colabella again split to the near side. Spires to the top. And the pitch will go to Andy Wilson. Gets a block in front, but is only able to get it back to the 40-yard line. He loses a yard. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 11. Defensively for the Scarsdale Raiders, they will also have the 5-man front. Josh Silverman, great player, will be at the guard, middle guard. He is the senior. Greg Calley and Steve Henkine are the 2 tackles. Jeff Kinney and Brian Garp will be the 2 defensive ends. And the defensive backfield for the Scarsdale Raiders at the linebackers, John DiRienzo and Ricky Palladino, the coach's son. We've got Vinny Lambert, Greg Knupp, Andrew Brennan, and Brian Kelly as the deep men. And this McKinney will go nowhere. Jeff Kenny, number 49, coming across to make the sack all the way back to the 27-yard line.
Jeff Keeney right here. He's the anchor to this Scarsdale defense. He just rushes right in there. Good pursuit, good hands, good strength. Comes down and makes the tackle. Like I said, he's the anchor of that defense. He's an excellent student in class. He has a 3.1 average. His father was a Yale football player, and he's just playing out there like a mad dog in a meat market.
Marcel Galligani now into punt it away on 4th down. Nice high spiral. Beautiful kick. Knopp will take it at his own 35, right up the middle of the field. And it'll be brought down in Mamaroneck territory at the 48-yard line on the stop. Bob Francis, number 85, to make the tackle, and it'll be 1st and 10 again for the Scarsdale Raiders. Take a look at the scoring summary of the first touchdown of the day, coming at 7-10. A nice drive, 8 plays and 72 yards, with Abdul Steiner finishing up on a 15-yard run. The kick was good, and the Raiders led by, or Raiders lead, I should say, 7-0. Second possession for Scarsdale. That's Knopp in motion. And the give is to the big fullback, number 40, Jason Kessler, 5'10", 158 pounds, just a junior. And he's able to get 1 yard.
know, it's interesting to note that both teams use the 5 front defense. They'll have a nose man over the center. They'll have 4 linebackers, outside linebackers. They'll have 3 deep. The defenses are identical. And if you practice during the week against your own defense and then you set up Mamaroneck's defense, like let's say you're Scarsdale, it's like you're running against your own defense, so you really know where to block.
Snap again in motion. This is Abdul Steiner. Very difficult to bring down. He'll just slide across the respective tacklers, and he gets himself a pickup of 1 yard. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 8 for Scarsdale. The Mamaroneck defense stiffens just a little bit. But on that last drive, they had done exactly the same thing here.
Exactly, John. Mamaroneck, when they're making the tackles, they're reaching out with their arms. They're making arm tackles. They're going to have to really set, you know, maybe a yard or 2 before the back gets to them and really try to explode through the runner instead of just reaching. They're not getting a good shot at that, the ball carrier from Scarsdale.
Well, we've got a timeout on the field as the offense not quite set, so Dick Palladino takes a timeout. That's the Raiders' first. They'll have 2 more left in this first half, and with 4:11 remaining to play in the first quarter, it's Scarsdale nothing, and Scarsdale 7 and Mamaroneck nothing. Okay, have opportunity. We can show you what else is going on around here in Section 1, as we've got action in all 3 classes, including the parochial and the private schools. In Class A today, according to the latest Extra Points Top 5, number 1 Roosevelt will be in action. They'll be playing host to the Arlington Admirals. Number 3 North Rockland is at Clarkstown North. The Raiders with a 7-6 win over Arlington a week ago. Yorktown is at number 4 White Plains as the Tigers open up their season under brand new head coach. And number 5 Ossining is at Carmel. New Rochelle will be at Spring Valley. Mount Vernon at Suffern. And tonight at Memorial Field at 7:30, it'll be St. Anthony's against Iona Prep. Over in Class B this afternoon around Section 1, Nyack is at number 1 Rye. The Garnets now with the longest active winning streak in Section 1 at 21 in a row. Number 2 Byram Hills is at Pelham. Pelicans open up with new head coach Charlie Lightsey. Number 3 Harrison will be at Tappan Zee. Number 4 Portchester at Woodlands. Fox Lane is at number 5 John Jay. The Indians, who had their 26-game streak stopped last week at Ossining, taking on their 2nd straight A school, this time the Foxes. Edgemont will be at Westlake. Ardsley is at Pearl River. And Eastchester at Nanuet. So we'll take a look at Class C a little later on in today's ball game. As high school football season in full swing now around Westchester, New York, and the country as a whole. 3rd down and 7 for the Raiders. Greg Knopp in motion. D'Arienzo on a controlled rollout. Good protection. Throws to the sidelines, incomplete. Ball batted away by number 70, Greg Moricade. Inside linebacker, 5'10 junior. Moricade makes the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
John, I was just watching Scarsdale coming out of the huddle. The first man out of that huddle is number 51, Dave Boshin. He's very strong, a senior, 6'1", 232 pounds. He's got excellent technique, quick feet when he's blocking. He's an honor student with a 3.7 average, and he'll be going to the Ivy League playing football there. I really like this ball player. He is really tough. He's consistent and strong in there on that offensive line.
Jeff Kenny does a nice job handling the low snap. It's an end-over-end kick, and this one will go out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Number 42 was the man down there who knocked it out of bounds. And Mamaroneck's in a hole. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 1.
There, and that proved it right there. The difference between a good ball player and a great ball player is a little extra hustle. And that extra hustle got him down that field, and he tipped that ball just before it went into the end zone. You have to really congratulate that man on hustle. And every coach emphasizes to his team all the time, go out there and hustle, 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 and good things will happen. And there was a good example right there.
So Bo Keane with his back right up against the goal line. Looked like a ball loose on the turf. And Scarsdale makes the play, but if you can get any closer to that goal line, the Tigers just did. Coach, it looked like Keene had a little trouble getting the ball off to Andy Wilson.
Yeah, it looks like there was a little slow to a start in the offensive backfield, and you really have to maybe move that offensive back up an extra yard closer to the line so that you can really shoot right through there. But the defense of Scarsdale, they thought they had a safety right there. But once that ball breaks that plane and comes in fair territory, it looks like it's on about the 2-inch line.
Again, right up the middle, and the Scarsdale defense right there again. This time Keene wasn't going to take any chances. He took that one himself. Got 1 yard up to the 2. And Coach, that's the first offensive yard the Tigers have gotten, and we're getting down 2.5 left in the first quarter.
This is tough, very tough for Mamaroneck, because it's like, you know, working your way out of a hole. You're in a 20-foot ditch, and you got to work your way out.
Chris Chulo right down on field level. Ball at the 2-yard line. Keene back onto the ground he goes. And not a whole lot there again. John Manisov with the call up to the 4-yard line, pickup of 2, and that's it. It'll bring up 4th down, and the Tigers will be forced to punt. It'll be Marcel Galligani. He'll be punting it away. He'll probably have his back heels right on the end zone end line.
Boy, this is where a coach is hoping that, you know, please have a good punt, let it go 50, 60 yards in the air, let it bounce, you know, get us out of this hole.
Brian Kelly and Greg Knopp are the D-backs for the Raiders. Galligani in the end zone, gets the kick away. Knopp cuts to the outside to the 20-yard line and gets down inside the 15. Well, the kick was worth about 40, 45 yards, but Knopp a good return back to the 14-yard line where Scarsdale has it 1st and 10.
The punt, it wasn't too high. You get the men are covering down there. There's a missed tackle. Now he's trying to get behind the wall to the right, hit that sideline. But again, Scarsdale has the momentum. They're in good field position. Here's where they can do a lot of things to catch Mamaroneck off guard. You know, they can run up the middle, they can run off tackle, they can throw a little pass out in the flat, a little screen. Good advantage for Scarsdale.
D'Arienzo with the play action. Looks into the end zone. Complete touchdown. Ryan Garf, number 80. It's 13-0 Scarsdale.
That was it. A little pass to the flat. It just so happens that the flat is the end zone. Here's Lorenzo. Gives a little fake. It's a play action. Starts rolling to his left. Beautiful pass right in a flat in the end zone. TD. Good reception at Lorenzo. He can really throw.
15-yard touchdown pass. Makes it 13-0.
And Brian Garf has excellent hands on that Scarsdale offensive line.
And Mike Cochran in for the extra point, and the lefty gets it away, and it is good. So with 1:05 left to go in quarter number 1, the Raiders are rolling. They lead Mamaroneck by a score of 14-0.
Now this Lorenzo's a ball player. He comes out of the mold of the old-timers. He'll play soccer, lacrosse, football, basketball, baseball. He's a true competitor. He'll give everything he has. Not only is he a great football player, but he's also a great a baseball player. Last year, he threw a no-hitter. So you know he's got to be one of the best competitors. He's a leader of the team, and his arm is there. It's strong. In baseball, he throws heat. In football, he just lightens up. He throws that nice soft touch, lays the ball right into the receiver's hands. A no-hitter in baseball, that's great.
Not too shabby. So the Scarsdale Raiders coming in as our number 2 team among the Class A schools in our top 5. The Roosevelt Indians at number 1. And Scarsdale with a 14-6 victory over R.C. Ketchum a week ago, and looking pretty good here early with 1:04 left to go in the first quarter. And we're already at 14-0. Andy Wilson from his own 10. And the Raiders again there to lower the boom. Wilson gets it up to the 33, and that's where Mamaroneck will start it up, 1st and 10.
Andy Wilson ran that back for Mamaroneck. The ball's going to be spotted up. Andy Wilson's a senior. He's the halfback and cornerback, 5'8", 160 pounds. He's the best back on Mamaroneck's team. Last year, he was honorable mention all-section. He was also all-section in lacrosse, and he really is a Division I lacrosse prospect. He's got good speed, change of direction, and he does this all in one gear. A shifty, like a water bug type of a runner.
Keane with the play action. Right across the middle, intercepted. Greg Knopf picks it up and goes down at the 36-yard line. 26 seconds left in the quarter.
That's 4 plays on defense. Boy, Greg Knopf was right there. Come on out!
That may have been a pass Mr. Keene would like to get back.
Greg Knopf, he was just sitting right there. Look, he just concentrates, looks the ball into his hands, comes up. Now, he does exactly what every good back or anybody, a linebacker that intercepts for the defense. You run up the middle, you get the defense come to the middle, and then you go to the sideline. Try to get to the sideline and scoot it right in for a score.
From the 36. Play action by DiRienzo. Looking deep again. He's got a receiver wide open. Completes it. Nifty little run there. Brian Kelly, he made a nice turn and then headed towards the middle of the field. Got it up to the 6-yard line. It's a 30-yard pass completion, but there is a flag on the play.
Now, Brian Kelly, number 12 for Scarsdale, he plays both ways. He's the split-hand cornerback. He's a solid hitter on defense, and receiver, he's got sure hands. And you see right here, there's a beautiful play action execution. Lorenzo throws the ball. It's a little bit too low now. Number 12, Ryan comes right up to get it, and he does a little shifty running to try to get it in for the score.
And with that, we're going to check out the marker. It's a penalty against Mamaroneck, but that's the end of the first quarter with the scores. Scarsdale 14, Mamaroneck nothing. We return to Scarsdale High School with more of the Game of the Week in just a moment. There really is only one way to stay on top of all of the high school football action in Westchester, and that's with Cable 3 Sports Extra Points. I'm John Caridio, and every week the Cable 3 Sports team covers the gridiron like no one else. We'll have highlights from all over. We'll visit with coaches and players, give you the weekly top 10s, and a complete look at the big games yet to be played. So join me every Tuesday night at 7:30 for Extra Points. We'll give you the score. All right, right on time. Scarsdale at the 6-yard line. This is Steiner again, number 28. And he will bring it up close to about the 2-yard line. Pick up a 4 for Steiner. As the Raiders threatening again, they already lead 14-0. That's the opening play in this second quarter. On a beautiful day in Scarsdale. It's beautiful all throughout Westchester today.
Yeah, and now, you know, watch this now. You have Boschens at center for Scarsdale. He's strong. He's over 230 pounds. He's doing an excellent job. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to run up the middle again here for the score.
To the fullback.
DiRienzo hands off to Chase
Kessler. And he is stopped.
Third down. Timeout, Mamaroneck.
And a timeout by Mamaroneck. All right, quickly, the last scoring summary. Scarsdale didn't take much time. One play, 15 yards, bang, bang, DiRienzo to Garf. And the extra point was good. And at that point, Scarsdale led 14-0. They're threatening once again. Mamaroneck has taken another timeout. That gives us a chance to go back to Class C and show you what the little guys are doing today, and little only in terms of enrollment, mind you. But Class C also playing some important ball games in week number 2 of this 1987 season.
enthusiastic crowd here.
They're ready. Got brand new stands here at Scarsdale. There's Class C. Pine Plains is at number 1 Pleasantville. Haldane will be at number 2 Rye Neck. Panthers a winner a week ago. Dobbs Ferry and Hastings both open up their seasons and do it with a great traditional rivalry, this time over at the Yellow Jackets home field. Number 5 Croton is at Valhalla. Bronxville will be at Tuckahoe this morning. They're already playing, as a matter of fact. Irvington at Millbrook and Rye Country Day at the Fieldstone School. So it is 3rd and goal. Steiner tries to go over the top and does. Little mountain climbing by Bill Steiner.
Right over the middle. Exactly what I would have called in that situation right there. You go right over Boshin. He's the key man in that offense, right in the center. You got the guy, there's Boshin. You see him centering 230-some pounds. Whoa, there's a beautiful leap over that pile, mountain high, goes into the score. I'll tell you, the guards and Boshin at center for Scarsdale, they're having a great afternoon.
And again, the extra point is away, and it is good. And with 11:18 left in quarter number 2, it is now the Scarsdale Raiders 21 and the Mamaroneck Tigers nothing. Mamaroneck with just 3 yards in total offense. Well, there you got a double shot right there. There's stories on that entire page.
You know, John, that's really, I mentioned at the top of the program, one of the keys for Scarsdale to win this game was that they had to control the running game. They couldn't go into the game with a 1-2-3 punt situation. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're controlling it. You must give credit to that offensive line. They're the ones that are digging people out. They're making the holes, and they're making things happen. Lorenzo's coming up with the passing game just when you need it. Throws a nice, soft, accurate pass. Receivers have good hands for Scarsdale, and it just seems like everything's going Scarsdale's way. They have the momentum.
Mamaroneck's got to, if not get anything going on track offensively, they've got to at least try to shut down Scarsdale, make them punt once or twice.
Exactly, and Mamaroneck hasn't really had the opportunity to show what they can do on offense. They hardly had the ball, and when they did, they were deep in their own territory.
Another big kick by Ekblom. This one taken by Wilson at his own 5-yard line. Wedges to the top side of the field, and he's just able to turn the corner. Good return by Andy Wilson up to the 35-yard or the 25-yard line, and Mamaroneck will have it 1st and 10 from there.
It's very difficult to get around the corner against Scarsdale. They have good defensive speed. They're consistent. They pursue well. They really have that good angle of pursuit where they will run and meet the ball carrier at a certain designated spot, and they'll come up and make a tackle. I think what Mamaroneck's going to have to do is they're going to have to run right at Scarsdale. Run right at them and pick up your yardage.
O'Keen. He'll take it himself, fumbles the football, but falls right back on it after being leveled by John DiRienzo, number 35, who's going both ways today.
Oh, he put it. This is a good pop right here by DiRienzo. He just sticks him and puts a tattoo right on, boom! When you see that offensive man go back and land on his back like that, you know that the defensive man is going right through him and making an excellent tackle.
Loss of 1, it's 2nd down and 11. Colabella comes split to the near side, Spires to the top of the screen. Wilson and Manasoff are the backs. Keen to throw. Looks like a little screen, but he's in a lot of trouble. Does get it away to Wilson. Back to the middle of the field, and he will go down at the 20-yard line, and that's a loss of 5 on the play. Well, they chase Wilson all the way back to the goal line.
And like I said before, that Scarsdale has good speed. They have good pursuit. It's hard to get to the outside, and everyone does their job on defense. Now here's Keene. He's looking at his receiver. He's trying to, the pursuit is right on top of him. Wilson has the ball. He's trying to get to around to the sideline, but then good pursuit by Scarsdale and coming up there and making a tackle.
9:25 and counting. Left to go, 2nd quarter. Scarsdale leads 21-0. Keene takes it himself.
Come on, go!
And the senior rumbles up to the 30-yard line. Good gain of 10 yards, but not nearly enough, as we'll bring up a 4th and 10 for Mamaroneck, and once again, they're going to be forced to punt the football away.
He went back, he showed pass, he brought the ball up right to his cheek, and what he did, ran right up the middle, which we call a quarterback screen. You try to get offensive men make an alley there so that he could go up there and possibly, with the wide receivers, try to get the first down, and he would force the defense to widen out.
Galligani to punt it away, no rush. High spiral. And taken by the Raiders. I thought for a second a fair catch was called for, but no penalty marker on the play. It looked like for an instant that Brian Kelly had thrown up his hand, but they let him run with it. There is a flag down, however, but back at the 45-yard line. And that usually will signify an illegal block somewhere along the line.
Yeah, in high school ball, you are not allowed to block below the waist. And usually on a punt, kickoff, anything like that, you have your team trying to set up a wall, and inadvertently you may block someone below the waist, and then you get hit with the flag. 15-yard penalty. But I guess this penalty's against Mamaroneck.
Well, again, they're talking to Dave Bosian, offensive captain of the Raiders.
Raider football about the 39-yard line.
8:29 left to go. Second quarter, 21-0. Raiders lead. Abdul Steiner with 2 touchdowns in the ball game. The other, a 15-yard pass to Rienzo to Brian Garv. And on that last scoring drive by the Scarsdale Raiders, 4 plays, 35 yards, 11:14 of the second, and Steiner, a 1-yard TD run up over the top and in the end zone. And Ekblom with his 3rd straight extra point of the day makes it 21-0. And the penalty indeed against the Mamaroneck Tigers, and a big one. They're going to put this one all the way down to the Scarsdale, or the Mamaroneck 31-yard line.
It's a bad break. Bad break.
Personal foul against the Tigers.
Mamaroneck just cannot get good field position. They're working out of a hole.
Well, first penalty of the day. Flagged against the Tigers for 15 yards. And now Scarsdale again in excellent position. 1st and 10 from the Mamaroneck 31-yard line. An official timeout on the field. As our referee, Ray McFarland, will go over and now chat with Jerry Hardy. You can see him right there in the back of the picture. There's a discussion going on, explaining to Coach Hardy exactly what the call was, and it doesn't look like Coach Hardy believes it.
He doesn't want that call, because now he's in a hole. He knows he's in a hole. He just can't get out of this jam. He just wants a little bit more running room. And he might even be trying to explain to the official that the man called for a fair catch on Scarsdale's team, and they won't accept it.
Really, the move outstanding comes before your class.
8:29 left. They'll get the clock started. Scarsdale has it 1st and 10 from the Mamaroneck 36-yard line. Rienzo in at quarterback. Steiner in the backfield along with Jason Kessler. Brian Kelly split to the far side. And they'll go up the middle, and it's Kessler, and a one-arm tackle, and a nice one made by Greg Morakay, the inside linebacker, just a junior, to bring down Jason Kessler, 5'10", 158 pounds. He is also a junior. So big series for that group right there in the white jerseys, the Mamaroneck defense. They've got to shut down the Scarsdale offense once. Scarsdale's punted the football away once in this game and got it to go out in the 1-yard line. So Mamaroneck's not been able to buy a break so far. It's Kessler again, and now the defense rising. They'll stop Kessler right at the line of scrimmage, no gain. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. And loss a little bit, loss of about a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 8 now.
3rd down and 8. Now, you would think definitely that this is a passing situation. If you want to gamble, you can maybe blitz a linebacker and try to put extra pressure on the quarterback. But don't forget, Lorenzo last year was a fullback, so he's really a back. If he sprints or rolls out, he's got good speed. He could get away from that blitzing linebacker.
DiRienzo on the rollout. Towards the sidelines. Nice grab. Beautiful catch by Brian Kelly. Very close to a first down, and he does have it at the 20-yard line. 9-yard pass completion for DiRienzo is now 3 of 4 on the day.
Now, Brian Kelly proved it right here, what I heard when I was watching practice during the week. DiRienzo sprints out to his right. If we have this coming up on the play, he sprints out to his right, and Brian Kelly has sure hands. That's what I heard at practice on Wednesday it was, and he proved it right there. That ball anywhere near his hands, he has the reception.
Second down from the 20. This is Abdul Steiner again, up to the 15-yard line, another 5 yards. Steiner with 2 touchdowns on the day.
15-yard line, that was Abdul Steiner.
Clock continues to roll, 6:40 left.
Coach Palladino's calling it an excellent offensive game. He's running up the middle, he's running off tackle, and just when he needs it at the right opportune time, he has DiRienzo throw that pass to his receiver, and they're being completed. Just definitely controlling the ball.
DiRienzo still has it, pitches it outside, and Scarsdale will go down just before the goal line. Greg Knock with the pitch on the option from DiRienzo. Went from the 15 down to the 2-yard line. Inches, they're saying now, just inches short of the goal line.
It's a game of inches. DiRienzo's just doing a great job as a quarterback. I thought that pitch was excellent. It was right there. He had good blocking. The hole was open. Unbelievable. Great game. Total team effort.
First and goal. Steiner stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second and goal. Clock continues to roll. 5:40 left to go, second quarter. The Raiders already leading 21-0 and knocking at the door again.
Okay, it's second and goal, only inches. You have Boshin, 232 pounds. You have DiRienzo, who was a fullback last year. What about a quarterback sneak right here? Just shoot it right through.
Steiner got in. Touchdown number 3 for Abdul Steiner. A 1-yard run. And that makes it 27-0.
It's right up the middle. It's not a quarterback sneak, but it's just as good. Steiner playing tailback, going right through. He's got the momentum to speed. He comes right in there, goes in for the score. They're just doing an awesome job of running that ball.
And Ekblom in again for the extra point, and he is a perfect 4 for 4 on the afternoon. And with 5:19 left, it is Scarsdale 28 and Mamaroneck nothing.
You know, I felt before the game started that Scarsdale was a good team. With Pickett, and if they had Holloway and Stone at quarterback, they definitely would be a great team. But what I see out here this afternoon, Scarsdale's not a good team. They're a great team.
I guess last week was a smoking gun or a smoke screen, as it were, 14-6 over Ketchum. Palladino said, yeah, they were pretty good. He says they surprised us a little bit. They played tougher than we expected. And you came out here this morning, and both of us talked on the pregame show how this game looked like it was fairly even on paper.
Yep.
But Scarsdale may be the team that, again, could be the ones to beat.
They have that winning tradition. Palladino has taken them to the bowl game the last 2 years. They lost tough bowl games. And they just have the kids that come in here and play good, tough, hard football. They're intelligent. They're quick.
Here's Galligani on the return. Couple of blockers in front of him. Great return across midfield into Scarsdale territory at the 43-yard line. Big return, and that could be a major boost to the fortunes of the Mamaroneck Tigers. They needed something, anything, to get this team on track.
It gives them a little bit better field position. You can have the kickoff right here. Boom, he catches it. Now he's going to the left. He wants to get behind that wall. Mamaroneck is forming the wall. Now he gets behind. He starts going right up the sideline, and they're in good field position. Now they can establish that running game a little bit, throw a pass here and there, and hopefully they really want to, and they have to go in for a score right here.
Keene will go right to work. Gets good protection this time. Airs it out to the sideline and completes it. Touchdown Tigers! Scott Spires, a 36-yard pass.
Beautiful pass.
Number 88, Scott Spires.
Excellent pass. Here's Keene. He sets up. He drops back deep. He's got good protection. What an arm. And a ball sailed through the air. Spires catches. He's keeping his feet. Good balance. It goes in for the score. Now, the amazing thing about it is that Keene and Spires have gone to a football camp during the summer, and they're like brothers. They throw a lot, before practice. They know where each other's going to be, where his moves are. Excellent play. Now, that play was caused because they had good field position, that they showed that what they can do.
That's a 43-yard touchdown pass. Bo Keene to Scott Spires, and now the Tigers will set up for the two-point conversion. Keene again looks to throw. Tries to jump over the line of scrimmage, and he is thrown back. So the two-point conversion is no good, but the Tigers get on the board in dramatic fashion. A 43-yard pass, and with 4:41 left to go in the second quarter, it is now Scarsdale 28 and Mamaroneck 6.
See, that's all that Mamaroneck needs. They just want to have some good field position to show what they can do. And right then and there with that pass, touchdown, you know that they're not out of this ball game. They can come back. Just as easily as Scarsdale scored 28 points, they can score 28 points. Now a key right here is for this defense to hold Scarsdale. If they can hold them 1, 2, 3 punt, get that ball back again, and hopefully go in at halftime with 2 touchdowns.
There's Galligani, who really set up that score with that great return on the kickoff. Brought it to the 43-yard line, and Bo Keene found Spires, who was covered pretty nicely by Greg Knopp. He was right on him, but mistimed his jump. And Spires made the catch. It's an onside kick. The ball is loose. Still kicked away. And the Raiders recover. Boy, that one came flying out of the pack. Somebody got a foot on it, I think. Nice call there by Jerry Hardy.
It was an onside kick, and then the ball was fumbled by the hands of the player on Scarsdale, and then it looked like another kickoff. That was exciting right there. That's a free ball. Once that ball goes 10 yards, it's anybody's ball. Everybody tries to jump on it. They're kicking it, and being in the right place at the right time, that's the key.
Isn't it amazing how
nice handle,
you really can't get a handle on that thing? That's a tough thing to hold on to. Now D'Arienzo gives it to the second back through, Steiner, and he is leveled with authority by Greg Moricade, who's having quite a game at the linebacker spot for the Tigers. A little extracurricular activity out there, but that's quickly broken up. And Steiner on the play to the 37-yard line, and that'll be a pickup of 2 yards. And we've got a whistle on the field. I believe our 4-minute warning is about to be issued. It is. Let's take a look at the scoring summary. A very quick one for the Mamaroneck Tigers, as Mamaroneck came across with the touchdown. 43-yard pass.
Where is our ball?
So 4 minutes being issued to both sides, and each team with 2 timeouts left in the first half. 28-6 the score. Scarsdale leading Mamaroneck in a big League 3 contest.
Jerry Hardy right here, he wants his defense to hold, get that ball back with some time so they can possibly go in to score. Interesting to note about Coach Hardy is that he went to Wagner College, and in his sophomore year, he started his coaching career at Monsignor Farrell, going to school, coaching, and ever since that sophomore year in college, he's still in coaching.
He likes the high school ranks. I remember talking with him when he first arrived at Mamaroneck, and Monsignor Farrell, you don't get too many football programs with a better tradition than they have, and if you're going to grow up around a high school football atmosphere, Staten Island's a pretty good place to do it around here. But he likes the high school ranks, and was really hoping that this season would turn around. 2 years ago, remember, Mamaroneck played in the first ever Coaches Bowl, which is an added treat during the Section 1 Bowl Championships. Usually two teams who just miss getting out of the regular bowl games, and they'll play that Coaches Bowl on Thanksgiving Day, and Mamaroneck played 2 years ago and lost another heartbreaker. If I remember, it was 7-6 against Mayapack, who they lost to last week, 26-22, in the last minute of the ball game. Last year, the Tigers 2-7, and this year looking for bigger and better things. Steiner, good hole by the offensive line as Karowski could have found his way through there. Gets across the 40-yard line.
They're hitting that middle, and they're picking up the yardage. That's not bad at play calling. That's what I would stay with. You would control the ball. You have 3 minutes and 32 seconds remaining. You have a good offensive line. They're firing out. They're going to keep it. Just stay with the middle, running off that, doing a great job. Defensively, someone's going to have to rise to the occasion there and really make a good stick and hold and stop Scarsdale from making a first down.
Brian Kelly split to the top. Play action. Pitch comes outside. Now, good move. 2 good moves. And he'll finally go down at the 44-yard line. And it looks, with the naked eye, he's
very
about
close.
a yard shy, I'd say. So it will be 4th down. About a yard short. They won't even bring the chains out. So Mamaroneck does just what we thought they would have to. They finally come up defensively and stop Scarsdale, and will force the Raiders to punt with 2:30 left to go in the first half. And you know the Tigers would love dearly to get another score before heading into the locker room.
Now let's see right here if Mamaroneck forms the wall to the wide side of the field. That's to their left. We'll see one of the receivers back there return this up the left.
Jeff Kenny to do the punting. Beautiful kick. What a spiral. Chases Andy Wilson back to his 10-yard line. And down he goes right there. Great kick by Jeff Kenny. High spiral. And the Tigers are pinned back in their own end again. 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line.
The punt itself is a weapon. What hang time. What a spiral. Excellent punt. Now, they were setting the wall to the left, but that beautiful hang time just going back. There's not enough time to set up the wall with that pursuit from Scarsdale coming down. He just hit that perfect on the outside laces of his shoe. He had his toe down, pointed to the inside of his body, went right off the laces, and you got the spiral, and you got air underneath it. Good hang time. Super distance.
Oh, the Tigers have got wide receivers all over the field. Keene straight drop back. Looks to the far side for Galligani and throws it a little short. It's incomplete. Clock down to 1:45 left. So far, Bo Keene on the day, he has completed 2 of 5 for only 36 yards. He'd have gotten more, but he threw a pass to Andy Wilson that lost 7 yards on the play, then the 43-yard touchdown pass. So Keene looking to complete a couple. He's going to have to hit one big one here.
What he's trying to do is trying to hit someone on the sideline. If he does catch it, he can run out of bounds and stop the clock.
Play action again, right across the middle, incomplete, off of the shoulder pads of number 44, Tim Dillon, and we've got a penalty marker on the play, thrown in the region of offensive holding.
When you see the quarterback throwing down the middle like that, you know that that receiver's past that 10-yard marker for a first down, and that's why he'll throw it to him and hoping that the reception is made, because the clock will stop because the officials have to move the chains.
So the penalty indeed holding against Mamaroneck. With the incompletion, the Raiders will decline the penalty and take the play, and that will bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 10-yard line. And as the Tigers break the huddle, Spires comes split to the near side, Colabella to the top of the screen. Wilson and Manasoff, the backs behind Bo Keene. Down the field, and it's incomplete. Almost intercepted again by Greg Knopp, number 11, the free safety. He's already got one interception.
But Brian Kelly was right there. He's right there. If that ball wasn't deflected, that would have been right in Brian Kelly's hands. You see Keene dropping back. It's a straight drop back pass. Scarsdale's in his zone. There's that. You see Brian Kelly right behind number 12. If he was right there, he clapped his hand like, darn it, I would have had it. It was deflected. But
you know,
everybody's going for the ball.
The passes may not be complete, but the last couple of series, Keene is getting more and more time to throw back there. So the offensive line now starting to do their job. Galligani to punt it away, just does get it away. And it's taken by Brian Kelly at the Mamaroneck 43, turns the corner and goes down. Nice open field tackle made there by Keith Ferry, number 23, a senior defensive back. And he makes the stop, and Scarsdale will have the football with 1:04 left till the intermission.
We'll see right here if Scarsdale's content with the score, maybe run the ball, run the clock out, or if they're going to gamble and go for one deep. It's not a bad idea to go with one deep, because if the ball is intercepted, you have your offensive people going down, making a tackle maybe on a 20, and then Mamaroneck will need 80 yards to go for a touchdown.
Play action again by DiRienzo. He's looking for it all, looking for Kelly. Got it, touchdown! Good call, Coach.
I'll tell you, sure hands. That's Brian Kelly, sure hands right there, but you got to give credit to DiRienzo right here. Look at this, he sets back, he has his pass protection, he just heaves the ball. Brian Kelly concentrating the ball right into his hands, comes in with the reception. Sure hands Kelly.
Not to be confused with machine gun.
I mean, total concentration. You can see, like, his eyes are just looking at the ball right into his hands.
And Ekblom again, perfect. 5 for 5 on the extra point. And with 42 seconds left to go in the first half, it is now Scarsdale 35 and the Tigers 6.
I tell you, DiRienzo's really impressing me as a thrower. I mean, last year he was a fullback. This year he was still a fullback because Stone was in there at quarterback.
You're
Stone
right.
gets injured. He comes in and he's throwing tremendously well.
He is really, and I have to agree, he has impressed me as well.
Oh,
because you're right, when Rich Stone wasn't injured until the last workout of preseason in August. And as you said, DiRienzo at that juncture of the preseason was the starting fullback. And all of a sudden he shifted into quarterback spot. He won a ball game last week. And here today, he's doing a nice job running the ball club. He's also thrown 2 touchdown passes.
It's really amazing. The thing is, the guy's a great pitcher. He can really locate the ball. So you give him a football, he locates that right into the hands of receivers.
Here comes Andy Wilson on the return, up across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And that's where Mamaroneck will have it. 1st and 10. Clock is stopped with 31 seconds left to go. And we're here in the second quarter.
Flag ball.
Oh, a lot of scoring.
John, that last touchdown pass, that was about 35 yards?
38 to be exact.
38?
And another nice pass. He just laid that right in there.
It's a well-thrown ball.
Oh, Colabella comes split to the near side, Spires to the top of the screen. Bo Keene settles in under the center with 14 seconds left in the first half. Keene's got to go right to work. And he airs this one out down the sidelines looking for Spires. It's incomplete as he overthrew everybody. Back there on the coverage for the Raiders, Vinny Lambert, number 26, junior cornerback. And he didn't even have a chance to come in with that one.
You know, on the last play, I was watching number 79 for Mamaroneck. He's a senior, J.P. Tomasetti. He's the best lineman on the team, and he had an excellent pass protection block. He bench presses 325 pounds, so he's strong in there and doing a great job. Number 79. Now, it's interesting to note what Mamaroneck does. They have a flip-flop offense. They'll have a tight end attack on the guard on one side, which I would call the strong side, and then the other side they have a guard tack on the split end, which is the quick side. Now, they will flip-flop this from one side to the other, and they try to use it as an advantage of maybe going to the right side of field, short side, certain plays.
Here goes Keene again down the sidelines looking for Wilson, and again he overthrew him. And there's some extracurricular activity back at the line of scrimmage. The guy you were just talking about.
Well, I wouldn't mess with him.
J.P. Tomasetti not happy with the block being thrown at him by Roy Scruggs. And we've got another penalty marker on the play. And they're going to march this against. Nope, they almost, I was wondering, they were starting to walk towards Scarsdale's side of the field, but now they'll march off 15 yards against Mamaroneck.
It's not official time. You can't go clock.
So the second penalty, second 15-yarder, and the scoreboard clock has no time left on it, but there must be some time left on the field.
This can be an all-out desperate pass, long, it's deep, and you tell your defensive backs to really play deep. Go 20 yards deep. Mortal sin. Don't let anyone get behind you. If anyone gets behind you, that's a mortal sin.
Ball fumbled.
His knee was down.
His Bo Keene's knee went down as soon as the ball came loose, so they will spot it right there. The ball back at the 15-yard line. And there it is. Whistle on the field, and the first half has come to an end with the score. Mamaroneck 35, or with Scarsdale 35, Mamaroneck 6. We'll be back with our halftime show in just a moment.
Push, pull, or shove your car to Crabtree Hyundai, and we'll give you up to $1,000 towards the Hyundai of your choice. Hyundai, the car that makes sense, now makes more sense. You heard right, $1,000 for any car you can push, pull, or shove to Crabtree Hyundai. Don't get shut out. Payments starting as low as $95 a month. Unbelievable. From now till the end of the month. Call us, then come in and make a deal. Do it today. Crabtree Hyundai, 162 Main Street, New Rochelle. Call 636-8585.
Cable.
We're back here at Dean Field with our halftime score. The Scarsdale Raiders leading the Mamaroneck Tigers 35-6. And in just a few moments, we'll take a look at the numbers put up by both of these schools. But first, we're going to entertain you a little bit with our halftime show. The Scarsdale Marching Band, under the direction of Dr. Joseph Albright, today celebrating the 200th anniversary of the United States Constitution. So let's go down to the field and enjoy the music of the Scarsdale High School Marching Band. Thanks to Dr. Joseph Albright, and congratulations on a nice show by the Scarsdale High School Marching Band. In just a moment, we're going to return to Dean Field with a look at the halftime tally. The numbers put up by both of the schools as this latest edition of the Cable 3 Sports High School Football Game of the Week continues in just a moment.
As a teenager, you're faced with a lot of decisions, like having sex. Well, if you're thinking about it, then think about this. Today, sex can kill you. You see, there's this disease, it's called AIDS, which any partner you might choose could have, and you can't tell. My advice? Don't have sex. You got plenty of time. But if you do decide to have sex, then use a condom. Very simply, play it safe or don't play at all.
There's always something good on Cable 3.
Hello and welcome to You and Your Family. I'm your host, Davita Rothberg.
Hello, I'm Dr. Marvin Leifer. Welcome to Your Mental Health.
Cable 3 News Special. The County Executive Debate.
We inform and entertain every day on Cable 3 because we work for you.
All right, back here at Dean Field, waiting for the football players to make their reappearance for the start of the second half. But before we get to that, there's the score, 35-6. The Raiders pounding the Tigers after the first 24 minutes of action. And here are the numbers put up by both of the schools after that first 2 quarters of play. The Tigers, 13 yards rushing. Bo Keene, the leading rusher for the Tigers, their quarterback, with 11 yards. The Raiders rushing for 87 total. Abdul Steiner leading the way. He had 60 yards in that first half. Passing attempts, Bo Keene 2 of 8 for 49 yards, while his counterpart John DiRienzo 4 of 5 for 93 yards. And the total yards 49 for Mamaroneck, 180 for Scarsdale in that first 2 quarters. The Raiders amassed 5 first downs. The Tigers still looking for their first down of the ball game. We had 1 turnover, an interception thrown by Bo Keene, none for Scarsdale, and time of possession indeed in favor of the Scarsdale Raiders, 14 minutes and 30 seconds to 9 minutes and 30 seconds for the Mamaroneck Tigers. Now I understand we've got 2 highlights that we want to show you in that first half, and first of all we'll roll it back at 7:12 of the first quarter, the very first touchdown of the day by the Scarsdale Raiders, and this gentleman looks to be the heir apparent to Larry Holloway's tailback spot, number 28, Abdul Steiner. And there you see a right up the middle, and Steiner on a 2-yard run. Actually, that coming in the second quarter at 11:22. Steiner the 2-yard run, and at that point made the score Scarsdale 21 and Mamaroneck nothing. The Raiders would go on to score 2 more. As a matter of fact, Steiner with a total of 3 touchdowns in that first half, 15-yard run, 2-yard run, and a 1-yard run. DiRienzo threw 2 touchdown passes, a 15-yarder to Brian Garf, and also a 38-yarder to Brian Kelly. But the Mamaroneck Tigers would also get onto the board with 4:45 left to go in the second quarter as we roll it again. And this time Bo Keene, after a great return by Gagliardi, bringing it into Scarsdale territory. Keene immediately went up top looking for Scott Spires deep. And there you can see right over the hand of Brian Kelly, the defender, and Spires fights off a tackle, goes into the end zone, a 43-yard pass. The extra point, however, was no good. And as it turned out, that would be the only score the Tigers could get in that first half. So that's where we stand, still at halftime on the Cable 3 Sports High School Football Game of the Week. The Scarsdale Raiders leading the Mamaroneck Tigers by a score of 35-6, and we return with more in just a moment.
Hello, I'm Mel Miller, Speaker of the New York State Assembly. If you want to be a great athlete like these guys, you have to have a healthy body, a body free from drugs. The temptation to try drugs is out there. It's everywhere. But you can't be a great athlete or a great anything if you fall into that trap. If somebody offers you drugs, take the advice of the Orangeman from Syracuse and say, no to drugs.
This coming weekend is a busy one for Cable 3 Sports as we present a pair of high school football contests. On the next game of the week, we begin with a rare crossover meeting. Class C's Bronxville Broncos tangle with Class B's Ardsley Panthers. Airings are Saturday night at 8 and Sunday morning at 10. Then an important League 7 matchup when the Eagles of Eastchester play host to the Westlake Wildcats. And this game can be seen this Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8 o'clock. The best of Section 1 football every week on Cable 3 Sports.
He could have gone in with quarterback sneaks.
Now the team's back out onto the field as they complete the second half coin toss. Mamaroneck's going to get the football. Well, if things weren't bad enough, the Tigers only able to amass 49 total yards in that first half of play. But, Coach, they've also, as we've just found out, lost one of their key defensive personnel for the second half.
Yeah, John, just at halftime I was down talking to one of the gentlemen that was near the official, and he said that J.P. Tomasetti, number 79, that's the co-captain for Mamaroneck, was ejected from the game because that was his second personal foul. Now, when you lose a co-captain, the most valuable lineman for, or outstanding lineman for Mamaroneck, he's dependable, and he's definitely one of the strongest men on the field, bench pressing 325 pounds. Not playing the second half is definitely going to hurt Mamaroneck.
That will hurt indeed. So the Tigers, with their backs up against the wall, they trail 35-6, and we're just about set for the opening kickoff of the second half. And the Raiders playing up to their advanced billing, the number 2 team among the Class A schools. And, Coach, as I look across the field, I see J.P. Tomasetti, number 79, setting up on the kickoff.
Yeah, well, this is what one of the gentlemen told me, that he heard the official say that he was out of the game. Maybe he meant just at the end of the half. I really wasn't sure.
All right, so Tomasetti at least in the lineup, and that's going to help for the Tigers as the second half is now underway. Andy Wilson from his own 5-yard line. Across the 20 to the 25, up to the 30, and brought down from behind by Jim Kelly, number 13, junior cornerback. And the Tigers will have it first and 10 from their own 33-yard line. And again, we refresh your memory to the starting lineup for the Mamaroneck Tigers. Bo Keene is the quarterback. He's a senior, 6 feet, 198 pounds. Andy Wilson will be the halfback, and John Matisoff will be the fullback. The two ends, Scott Spires, who's got a touchdown catch, and Ricky Colabella, or Ken Colabella, the other wide receiver, and the tight end, number 44, is Tim Dillon. On the offensive line for the Mamaroneck Tigers, Greg Moricade will anchor it at the center spot. Pat Curley, Jim Joyce are the two guards. Ted Haley and J.P. Tomasetti, number 79, will be the two tackles. It'll be first and 10 for Mamaroneck, and a little discussion on the field now with our crew, and they're now ready to go. Wind up the clock, and we're underway. You know, Bo Keene threw a lot in that first half. He trailed early, and sure he's going to have to go up top to start off the second half, and that means the Scarsdale defense will be able to tee off on him. They've got 6 down linemen, but Keene keeps it on the ground, and that goes nowhere. John Matisoff, the fullback, 5'8" senior, got it and was stuck behind the line of scrimmage. The ball will come back to the 32-yard line. Defensively for the Scarsdale Raiders, with the 5-man front, Josh Silverman is the nose guard. Greg Calley and Steve Henkind are the two tackles, and the two ends, Jeff Kinney and Brian Garf, number 80. It'll be second down and 11 now. Loss of 1 on the play. Colabella to the top of the screen, Skyers at the bottom. Keene to throw, sideline route, incomplete. Nice try by Spires, but the ball a little bit overthrown. And Keene's now 0 for 5 in his last 5 passing attempts. And quickly, the final defensive set for the Scarsdale Raiders. At the cornerback spots, Brian Kelly and Vinny Lambert. The strong safety will be Andrew Brennan, and the free safety, Greg Knopp, with the two inside linebackers, John DiRienzo and Ricky Palladino. Yes, that is the coach's son. Played a year ago over at Fox Lane, and now a member of the Scarsdale Raiders. It is third down and 11. Colabella now to the near side. So they switch the wide receivers. Keene on a straight drop back. Protection breaks down. Jeff Kenny is there, and down he goes. With help from Greg Kelly, number 71, and that is sack number 2 for the Raiders defense.
Jeff Kenny is the anchor of that defense, and he's coming in hard. You see him fight off that blocker? Comes right in there, and what he does, he wraps his arms around the quarterback's arms so that he cannot come up and throw the ball as he's being tackled.
Loss of 15 on the play. It is 4th and 26. And that means Marcel Galligani is in to punt it away. He'll hit it from about his own 5. It's a high spiral, not very deep. Fair catch signaled for and taken there by Brian Kelly, number 12. And the Raiders will have it first and 10. And the ball will be spotted at the Mamaroneck 47-yard line. Again, offensively for the Scarsdale Raiders, 1-0 coming into today's ball game. This is their first league contest. John DiRienzo is the quarterback. Jason Kessler, the fullback. And we've got Abdul Steiner as the tailback. The slot back today, number 11, Greg Knopp. The split end is Brian Kelly. And the tight end is number 80, Brian Garf, splitting duty with Jeff Kinney during the ball game. DiRienzo to his fullback, Jason Kessler, for the first call. And that gets it across the 45 up to the 43-yard line. And that'll be a pickup of 4 yards. It'll bring up second down and 6. On the offensive line for the Scarsdale Raiders, the senior captain, Dave Bosian, number 51, anchors it at center. Matt Karp and Dave Savelson are the two guards. And the two tackles, Malcolm Falls, number 72, and Mike Fee, number 77. Second down and 6 for the Raiders. Leading 35-6 with 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Snap in motion. Pitch goes to Steiner, and he's wrapped up from behind. And behind the line of scrimmage, making that stop, number 36, Chuck Berkowitz, senior linebacker. For a loss on the play, back to the 47-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 12. Nice play from behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, what's happening now, Mamaroneck is gambling a little bit. They're getting that inside linebacker, and they're blitzing him, and they just guessed right on that time. And he came right behind the line of scrimmage to make a nice tackle. And that's what you're going to have to do once in a while. You have to put a little extra pressure, blitz guys in there, break up that rhythm of Scarsdale's.
3rd down and 12. DiRienzo on the rollout. Tucks it under his arm, and the fullback turned quarterback takes it. And he's across the 45 to the 43-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 8 yards, and we'll bring up a 4th down. So let's take a look at the defensive unit for the Mamaroneck Tigers. Dillon, Tomasetti, Curley, Francis, and Joyce will be on the defensive line with that 5-man front. And the D-backs, Greg Berkowitz, as we mentioned, at 1 linebacker spot. You got Moricade also in there. Colasacco, Wilson, the corners, and Galligani and Ferry are the 2 safeties. So to bring up a 4th down, and the defense does the job, as Jeff Kenny will come in to punt the football away. He'll hit it from about his own 45-yard line. Tigers look like they're going to send a bunch of people. Only Andy Wilson is the deep back. They send 9, low snap. Kinney able to get it away. Angles it towards the sidelines, and it will go out of bounds. And now we'll wait for the official to move up the field and spot it at the 20-yard line. So Scarsdale will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20.
20-yard line.
Now, an interesting note, John, number 53 from Mamaroneck is the senior Jim Joyce. He's the quick side guard, or you may call him the short side guard on that flip-flop offense that Mamaroneck uses. He's also an outside linebacker. He's the fastest guard. He's great for traps and pulling. He's the son of Coach Joyce, the basketball coach at Lincoln, and also he coaches the girls softball team at Concordia College.
Okay, quick sideline toss, and Spires heard some footsteps. And it looks like they may have ruled that a lateral, because after Spires had dropped it, he picked it up and the play continued, and he was finally forced out of bounds at the 16-yard line, so it's a loss of 4 on the play. It's an interesting call right there. That's a live ball after it popped out of his hands.
If that ball is thrown behind the quarterback, that's a lateral. It's a free ball. And throwing it to him out there, I really don't see why that was done, because Scarsdale has 2 men out there. And you're not really going to get anywhere because they have good pursuit, good defensive speed.
Keene again rolls out, has to take it himself, and cut down at the 15-yard line. No gain, and it will now be 3rd and 15 for Mamaroneck. They've had that 1 bomb back in the 2nd quarter when Keene hit Spires on a 43-yard touchdown pass. But besides that, Tigers still looking for their first down of the ball game,
at the top of the hill,
and also trying to get some semblance of an offensive drive together. If not for this game, I'm sure Jerry Hardy be interested to see if the team could just do it, put a couple of first downs together.
They're definitely playing in a hole in the first half and now in the second half.
Keene able to get it away, and I believe our referee may be calling in the grass. The sideline judge says that it's an incomplete pass, and that is how the ruling will go on the Bucks. So Keene now 0 for 6 in his last passing attempt since the touchdown toss.
You see Keene right here. He's going back to pass. Now he's grabbed, and then what he does, he just throws the ball, and it's inaccurate, and it has speed, because as he's being twirled around, that gave the ball momentum. So there was no intentional grounding.
Galligani in again to punt. This an end-over-end kick. And the ball down by Mamaroneck. And the Raiders again will set up shop, 1st and 10 from the Tigers' 48-yard line.
I just want to go a step further with Jim Joyce, number 53 from Mamaroneck. He's an excellent student. He has an above 90 average, and in the college boards, he was over 1,100. He's an honor student. You know, it's nice to see that, you know, guys are dedicated like he is. He has lifted weights. He gained 40 pounds. He's a hard worker. He's got good desire. And I'll tell you, when you get a coach's son playing a sport, you know you have a good athlete right there. They understand. They hear it every day at home.
Right up the middle. It's the fullback for Scarsdale, number 33, getting the call. Lou Henry, as Dick Palladino now starting to get some of his reserves in the ball game. That's Henry's first carry of the day. And Henry picks up one. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 6.5 left to go, third quarter. Mamaroneck or Scarsdale leading 35-6. Brian Kelly split to the near side, not to the top of the screen. And they'll give it again to the fullback. Big hole opens up for Jason Kessler, and a one-arm tackle made by Andy Wilson of Mamaroneck. And that'll bring it to the 40-yard line, make it the 41.
It's a nice quick play right off left tackle. And watch this off left tackle. We'll watch the guard, see if they pull. Oh, there's 65. You see him pull. He kicked out the end, made that hole happen. Right there. It's a quick side guard, just pulling and trapping that defensive end, opening up the hole. Kick him out.
Inside reverse. Knopp gets the first down. Across the 35 to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 6 yards. Knopp now 3 carries for 24 yards. Abdul Steiner leads the rushing attack for both schools. He has 60 yards, but has not had a carry so far here in the second half.
There we see
Silverman
taking a little rest.
Just a sophomore, too. So 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They're 6th overall. First here in the second half with 5:10 left to go in third quarter. And this will be the fullback again. Kessler fights off a good tackle and a nice block. Springs him down to the 20-yard line. 15-yard run for Mr. Kessler.
That's the same exact play that Kessler ran to left. Now he's running it to the right. So right here he's going to the right, right off right tackle. He's got some daylight. He tries to head for the sideline, go in for the score. Tackle made by number 7 from Mamaroneck.
The top 10s and the winning coach from today's
1st and 10.
Extra points every
Tigers trying to hold the Raiders again. Seems they've been trying to do that all game long. 35-6 the score. Scarsdale on top. They have led throughout. From the 20-yard line, again to the ground. Here's Abdul Steiner, and he is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage, grabbing a hold of him. Number 75 for Mamaroneck, John Dapoliti, making the tackle. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10.
That was straight ahead blocking, just, you know, like a wedge, you know, just telling the offensive lineman to make contact with your defensive man and drive them back and trying to get as much yardage as you can. You know, we just had a shot of Jason Silverman. He's only a sophomore. And remember last year in the Mamaroneck game, Silverman, his brother,
Josh,
he was the most valuable player of the game.
Play action. DiRienzo still has it. Throwing to Kinney in the end zone. Touchdown. Great pass fake by DiRienzo in the backfield. Kinney wide open in the back of the end zone. Another touchdown pass, the 3rd of the day for DiRienzo.
Boy, Kinney is tough, and he's another one of those ball players with sure hands. Right there, concentrating the ball, coming in. Well thrown pass, good reception. You know, everything is just working so well for Scarsdale, and they just throw that pass at the opportune time. And the amazing thing is that Jeff was open in the end zone. He got behind his receiver, and that's the number 1 thing you do. Then after that, just catch the ball.
And Mike Cochran.
The 6th straight extra point for Michael Cochran.
His 6th straight extra point.
The Raiders go ahead 42.
And it is now 42-6 in favor of Scarsdale with 3:51 left to play. 6. Kicking has always been good here in Scarsdale. I remember last year when we had the Raiders against Horace Greeley, 2 punts that were stopped dead at the 1-yard line. Today they had one go out at the 1-yard line. 6 straight extra points.
And that score last year was 35 in the 30s. And
35-7, I think.
Horace Greeley with 7 points. The thing that I'm still impressed with is the passing of Dorenzo. He's just on target. His location for that ball is right there.
Andy Wilson with the football. Wedge breaks down, so has to go it alone. And he is up to the 33-yard line, where Mamaroneck will have it there, 1st and 10. Just a beautiful Saturday afternoon for high school football. Field is in great condition. And our congratulations to the Scarsdale Athletic Department. 2 weeks ago, there was not a stand in sight. And today, a beautiful fan stand.
And they have a nice platform up here for the cameramen.
It's nice.
Scouts, fans.
Everyone's here today. Keene in trouble. Throws it down the sideline. Good catch. Andy Wilson with the reception. To the 40-yard line. Now cuts it back. And he loses the football. Scarsdale's got it. Great tackle by number 75, Steve Henkind, who came out of nowhere. Caught Wilson from behind. Jarred the ball loose, and the Raiders get it back.
But that's disheartening on the side of Mamaroneck. You have a good play, well executed. Wilson comes up with a nice reception right here. Now watch him run. Goes to his left, now he's going to his right. He's trying to get right behind him. The ball is jarred loose, and it's a bad break, a turnover. Especially after a great play, they would have been in good field position. That's what they want. They want field position. Now the defense is going to have to rise to the occasion right here and come up and stop Scarsdale.
Greg Knopp, the man who fell on the loose football. And now we've got a new quarterback into the ball game for the Scarsdale Raiders. It is George Gordon, number 20. He is just a junior, 5'9", 142 pounds. And he's going to run the club now for a little while. Pick up on that last carry of 4 yards.
I'd like to take a quick second to remind everybody to come to the homecoming dance tonight. Support your class.
2nd down and 6.
Homecoming. Low price of $5 a ticket.
And they'll keep the ball on the ground. And that last carry goes to Matt Deschamps, number 42. And Deschamps right back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It'll be 3rd and 6. Here's the scoring summary on that last touchdown play and drive by the Raiders. 3:51 of the 3rd quarter, 46 yards and 6 plays. And the final, Dirienzo to Kinney, a 20-yard pass. Cochran with the kick, 42-6 the score. 3rd down and 6. Tom Norton is in the ball game as a wide receiver. And again, the Raiders keeping it on the ground. And that'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is all. Matt Schitzler, a junior, with that last carry, and it'll bring up 4th and 6. So the Raiders will be forced to punt the football away with 1:23 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
George Gordon just came in as the quarterback for this series. You know, he's not going to pass the ball or anything. He's got to get a feel of the ball. You know, they're going to run the ball to the right or to the left, no passes, just try to get a 1st down that way, but they didn't execute. Now Mamaroneck has a chance of getting the ball in good field position right here.
Kenny to punt, and a ball's blocked and picked up by the Tigers in Raider territory at the 40, make that the 37-yard line. So a big break there for Mamaroneck as they were finally able to get in, and I believe it was Pat Curley, number 57, who came in and made the block. Right up the middle.
Now, if he didn't fall down, he could have ran with that ball. Right there, that's number 66.
Ian Boyle with the reception. So a big break there. The Tigers with great field position. Granted, they have a long way to go to get back into this ball game, but it'll help here. 56 seconds left in the third quarter. Keene pitches it to Wilson, and he's brought down immediately. Steve Henkind.
Steve Henkind and a hit in the back
with the tackle. And a loss on the play back to the 40-yard line, a loss of 2, and it will be second down and 12, but we'll hold things up right now as the first quarter, or the third quarter, has come to an end here at Dean Field, the home of the Scarsdale Raiders, and they're putting it to the Tigers as we're heading to the final stanza. 42-6 is our score, and we'll be back with more of the Cable 3 Sports High School Football Game of the Week in just a moment.
Push, pull, or shove your car to Crabtree Hyundai, and we'll give you up to $1,000 towards the Hyundai of your choice. Hyundai, the car that makes sense, now makes more sense. You heard right, $1,000 for any car you can push, pull, or shove to Crabtree Hyundai. Don't get shut out. Payments starting as low as $95 a month. Unbelievable. From now till the end of the month. Call us, then come in and make a deal. Do it today. Crabtree Hyundai, 162 Main Street, New Rochelle. Call 636-8585.
Back right on time. Bo Keene, first play of the fourth quarter. In a little trouble. Now scrambles. Throws it across the middle. Incomplete. His intended receiver, John Manasoff, number 33, who came out of the backfield. And Keene, under heavy pressure, just got that one away in time. But it will bring up now a third down and 12 for the Tigers. Ball still at the Scarsdale 40-yard line.
Not only was the pressure that Keene was receiving difficult for him to get that ball away, but he was also sprinting to his left, and what he had to do is stop and throw the ball down the middle, which is very hard if you're a righty. If you're right-handed going to the left, you really have to stop, set up, be on balance, and being on balance is where you go up on your toes and come down without falling or taking a step, but it's hard to get on balance that way going to your left.
Keene again in trouble. Gets away, and down he goes at the 35. Gain of 5 for Bo Keene.
Number 35, John Durienzo.
Dan Savilson, number 52, on that tackle. Pick up a 5, but it'll bring up a fourth down and 8. You know the Tigers have to go for it. Trailing by 36 points. Keene again, straight drop back. And it's incomplete, right in the hands of Scott Spires, but again, may have heard some footsteps. Number 21, Andrew Brennan right there to lay the hit on him. And on the exchange of downs, Scarsdale's going to get it back.
Yeah, well, what I think what happened right here, Keene's going back. It's a nice pass. It's well thrown. It's right in his hands. And then he looked upfield looking to the goal line. What he did, he took his eyes off the ball as soon as the ball was coming into his fingers. And that's where you had that little fumble, and then you drop it. And I would expect that Scarsdale is going to stay with the running game here.
Well, George Gordon still in at quarterback, number 20. And the Raiders keep it on the ground. Manasup, or number 33. For the Raiders, Lou Henry. And Henry with a big gainer. 22 yards.
Henry's only a junior, and one thing I like about this run right here, now watch him shift that ball. See him get that ball to the sideline? In other words, he's keeping it away from the defender so that the defender cannot hit it and then cause a fumble. A good back will shift the ball once it gets past the line of scrimmage and heading towards the sideline. Good job by Henry.
Again, Henry. Blockers in front of him. Cuts it inside and goes across the 30. Down to the 27-yard line. Another first down.
Henry is running with determination. That time he had the ball in his right hand going to the right sideline, so he didn't have to switch the ball.
This is 16-yard. run by Mr. Henry.
He's 6 foot, 182 pounds. He's not small. He's also fast out there. Runs with power and speed.
Again, the hole's being opened up by the offensive line.
Yeah, Mamaroneck's going to have to gamble a little bit. They're going to have to, maybe slant that defensive line, shoot a linebacker here and there. They have to get into that offensive backfield of Scarsdale's.
Well, the Raiders right now content just to let that clock continue to roll.
No gain on the play.
Matt Deschamps with the carry, no gain. He'll bring up 2nd down and 10. 9:49 and counting. Left to go, 4th quarter. Scarsdale been in control of this one from the opening gun. 42-6 is our score. Coming up at the end of the game, we're going to visit with the winning coach. And Dick Palladino looking pretty good. Sitting pretty, as it were. We'll also have our Cable 3 player of the game. Pitch comes outside. Deschamps turns the corner. Nice open field tackle. Number 1, Dan Colasaco. 5'7" senior with the stop. And a gain on the play up to the 22-yard line. Pickup of 5 yards.
Now, you have to give a lot of credit to Coach John Venatoro here. That line is really blocking. They're doing a great job. But here's a nice tackle coming up right at the shoestrings. But this entire game, John Ventura, he coaches the offensive line for Scarsdale. He has those guys firing out. Did a tremendous job.
Lou Henry. He is dragged down from behind by number 65, Matt Karp.
For those of you
to bring up a 4th down.
You can keep in touch with all the high school football action around the county with Cable 3's Extra Point.
Well, a gain of
in the studio every Tuesday night.
4 yards,
at 7:30.
and it will be 4th and 1.
The top 10s and the winning coach from today's ball game. That's Extra Points every Tuesday night, live at 7:30.
Scarsdale right now is just going with the solid stuff. They're running that ball up the middle and off tackle, just staying with the solid stuff and letting the linemen execute in their blocking techniques.
Henry fights ahead for the 1st down. 1st down, number 10 on the day for the Scarsdale Raiders. But more important in this juncture of the ball game, they're just keeping that clock rolling. Keeping the ball away from the Tigers and looking to salt win number 2 of the 1987 season away.
Henry earned that 1st down because he was hit behind the line of scrimmage or on the line of scrimmage, but he kept those legs pumping like pistons, and he picked up the 1st down.
7.5 left to go. Deschamps and Henry, the setbacks behind George Gordon. And it is Lou Henry once again. Getting a lot of work here in this 4th quarter. And a big tackle put on by Ted Haley, number 69. Senior tackle, 6'1", 195 pounds. Boom is right.
Once again, we have a set of keys
Mr. Henry's going to feel that in the morning. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10.
Thing for goalkeepers camp.
Ball right at the 15-yard line. They just able to get it away to Henry. George Gordon, he had Pat Curley in his lap as he handed the ball away, and Henry got across the line of scrimmage and picked up 3.
And he was tackled there by number 58, Dennis Bolger. He's a junior, 5'9", 165-pound linebacker. You know, John, you mentioned about getting a hit, a good pop on you, and it does hurt, and you do feel it the next day, but if you come out as a victor, it doesn't hurt as much as when you lose.
That's right. The pain is more bearable. Another new back in the ball game, number 34, Matt Schnitzler, 5'7" junior.
1987 Scarsdale homecoming trivia question.
And that'll be a gain of just 1 yard, and it will be 4th down and 4.
This afternoon's question is, the first person to these scores will the correct answer does get a ticket.
Yeah, the guy sitting in the end zone watching the game on our monitor.
This year, from last year.
Talk about the height of laziness. Come out to the game and watch it on TV while you're there. And they're sitting right behind the end zone. They got the best seats in the house. Gordon flips it outside. And that play doesn't go too far. Matt Deschamps on the carry. Will not get enough for the first down. Lost a yard on the play. And Mamaroneck will get the football back. However, it is very deep in their own territory with 5:25 left to play in this fourth quarter. It is Scarsdale 42 and Mamaroneck 6.
That was good defensive pursuit by Mamaroneck. Scarsdale tried to hit the outside perimeter, but Mamaroneck feathered it out. They attacked. They were right there. No yardage.
That's correct.
Greg Hart working those sidelines.
Serena Mir. You heard it here first.
Here come the Tigers. Clock is rolling.
Jersey was retired for this season before the game.
Right up the middle they go. And it is the fullback, John Matisoff, senior, getting the carry. Matisoff across the 10-yard line.
Coming down this evening, Serena will be there.
And just a gain of 2 yards.
You have to give the Scarsdale ground crew a lot of credit because this field is just absolutely beautiful. It's like a carpet.
Keene with a play action. Across the middle, incomplete, and no marker on the play. Spires, the intended receiver, covered there by Greg Knopp, number 11.
Spires was executing a slant across the middle, and as he was going across, he was getting deeper and deeper, and the ball just wasn't thrown right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, some of the good players here will be joining the NFL as players. Let's get rid of that strike, okay?
Mamaroneck with just 84 total yards in today's ball game with 4:39 left in the fourth quarter, and they have still not picked up a first down. Third down and 8, and motion on the line. That's going to go against Mamaroneck, and that is just the third penalty of the ball game. All of them, however, have been whistled against the Tigers. This will be a 5-yarder, so they've been penalized 35 yards 3 times. The Raiders have not had a penalty. The defense has limited the Tigers to 84 total yards, gave up that 1 touchdown pass, the 43-yarder, and that is it. 2 sacks as well. Keene again, play action in his own end zone, airs it out down the sidelines, looking for Spires, incomplete. Spires looking for a pass interference call, a little contact between him and Brian Kelly down the sidelines. But it goes as another incompletion, and that means that the Tigers will be forced to punt it away with 4:19 left to go.
And the one thing you have to consider right here, where Mamaroneck is at a disadvantage, is that when they are throwing a pass, the receivers have the sun right exactly in their eyes, because Spires, after that ball hit the ground, he looked up 2 or 3 times into the sky, and the sun is blinding.
So Marcel Galligani, Jr. to punt it away, again standing at the back of his end zone. Gets a wobbly kick away. Kelly will field it at the Mamaroneck 38. Goes to the middle of the field. Good spinning move. And finally is leveled inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. And the Raiders will have it once again.
You know, it's great to have a guy like Kelly on your team with the sure hands. He's a receiver. He can put him back there for punts, kickoffs. You know, the ball's not going to be dropped. The sure hands is that total concentration, you know, looking that ball right into your hands and not looking to the right or to the left or away from the ball, but